it's Baby Gabs. So we are back, episode 9. So we have some special guests here today, and we have Josh Harmon.
Hello.
We have Ryan.
Hey.
We have Ray.
What's up?
And then we have Trey, but he went inside. He'll be out here soon. But we're going to get into it. We're going to talk. This episode is strictly just about side-by-sides. So if you are here to listen about OnlyFans tips and stuff, I will talk about that a little bit, but not necessarily tips. So let's talk about the side-by-side world. Let's talk about how I got into it, how I met Josh, and then, of course, you guys know how I met Ryan and how I met Rafe and Trey I can get into. So how I got into it was I just literally went to a dealership and I bought a Honda Talon. I knew nothing about it. I thought the machine was cute. That is how I bought my Talon. I don't know, I sat in it, I loved it, I loved the look of it. So I bought it in full, took it home. Well, they had to deliver it to me because I didn't even own a trailer when I bought it. So it started with that, and then I bought that in January, and then October hit, and I bought my KRX, which most of you know, my KRX is like the big, tall, huge one. But that's how I got into it. I just literally bought a side-by-side, but some girls are asking me, they want to get into side-by-side world. They want to buy one. So what are your opinions, Josh, on like what kind of side-by-side should people buy?
Okay, that was a great question because it really depends on what you're doing. And I feel like kind of in our group, I'm the leader, I guess you would call it, or the president of Missouri Motors.
Yeah.
So we do a little bit of everything from hill climbs to mud races to turn and burns to drag races, battle courses, things of that nature. You know, if you're wanting, in my opinion, if you're wanting a mud machine, anything that's going to be mud, bounty courses, anything with water, you want a Can-Am.
Yeah.
Can-Am is just the tried and true. It seems to keep water out of the clutches. They just seem to perform so much better. Now, the problem with Can-Ams, you know, you start putting a little bit more horsepower in them, you start adding, they tend to break a little bit more. Polaris has definitely closed the gap, I'm going to say, as far as their suspension. You know, Can-Am for a while had the smart shocks. And then once Polaris came out with the Dynamics, it really was just kind of a game changer as far as their suspension. So if you're going to do like bounty courses or battle courses, hard trail riding or some hill climb stuff, you know, Polaris might be the best machine to buy right now. As far as Kawasaki, you just can't go wrong. It's kind of a little bit of the best of both worlds. I always joke about Kawasaki. They're not great in anything, but they're good in everything. And they have one of the best warranties, and you have one, so you know you've been racing it for a long time. And competitions and stuff like that. So great in the mud, great on the hills, things of that nature. You know, it's maybe something if I was going to get in the sand or, you know, the dunes or snow, you know, maybe a Yamaha, something like that, where you put a bunch of horsepower in. But it really just depends on what kind of riding you want to do. You know, if you want a trail machine, they'll all work. I mean, you don't really need anything major. You can use a mule, you can have a Ranger, Defender, Maverick, you know, Polaris. It really just depends if you want to compete, you want to have that advantage.
Yeah.
And I think that's where we've tried to, for our events, have a little bit of everything. Mud, you know, bounty courses, speed areas, to where not one machine has a huge advantage. But for some of the events, you know, some are just more mud and water related, and where Can-Am's going to have advantage. Some of the others are a little bit more as far as bounty courses, things of that nature, where players might have a little bit of advantage. But
yeah,
at the end of the day, it's really about the driver. I feel like that 75% is your
that's
driver.
what I say all the time.
Yeah.
It's about the driver or whatever. And I'm not going to diss on myself here, but if you want to try to win some bounty courses, don't get a KRX. It's just really, it's slow.
Your driving has been phenomenal.
I want to go faster. It just doesn't keep up with me.
Well, I'll agree.
Yeah.
You have pushed the envelope as far as the Kawasaki KRX is going to go.
I know, I have.
Well,
yeah.
you know, your driving ability is just being hindered by the machine you have and the competition. This isn't something that was 5 or 6 years ago. I mean, you're literally, you know, we're giving away $100,000 at the Missouri Motor Battle Course Series 2023 this year at 5 different events and one actually at a fair. But yeah, it's a lot of work. And it's a lot of time to put into really to get the most out of your machine, from clutching to tuning. And you're kind of like me. You just kind of jumped in the deep water and kind of figured out as you go. But sometimes that can be really expensive. That was the only
machine I really had jacked up. So I was like, shoot, I'll just race the KRX. But then when I raced, you know, last year, I was like, shoot, I want to go faster.
So how long did it take you when you bought your KRX to realize you didn't have a trailer to haul it? I mean, so the KRX comes to your house and
no, I bought the Talon first.
Okay.
And then after they delivered it to me, it took probably like, I think I already had a trailer before, like right when they delivered it. But it was just a one trailer. Like it was literally just a 20-foot. It could haul the Talon, whatever, you know. But then, like, before I got or no, when I got the KRX or whatever, they delivered it too for me or whatever. They were really nice about delivering, so I was like, okay, sure, if you want to deliver it, go for it. But then I went and bought that one setting outside right now, the 24-foot, and then that led into another 40-foot. So I had, and then I sold that 20-foot, and then I bought another, what was it, a 22-foot or whatever. I don't know. I had 3 trailers at one time within a year.
That's a lot of trailers, Katie.
Within a year, I know. My mom was calling me a trailer hoarder, and I was like, I can't get rid of this one because I use this one to wash this one, and she's like, well, just get rid of one of them. But then I moved to Illinois, and Ryan had to move all my trailers up here, and he's like, you gotta get rid of some.
Right.
So we ended up selling the 40-foot like a month or so ago, and then the 20-foot a month ago or whatever, and then we bought our brand new 40-foot 2023.
It's a nice trailer.
Oh, it's wide too. That was the thing with my 40-foot that I sold. It was just too narrow. So like when you went up with the side-by-sides, you know, they're on, mine's on 44, you know, like you had to get it even. If you didn't get it even, you were falling, like it was going to go off. Like I felt that way.
So had you ever hauled anything before?
Yeah, just like learning when I was 16, like
okay.
my dad, my stepdad, he taught me how to like pull a trailer, hook it up, but never a gooseneck. Like
well,
I learned myself. Well, I have to give props. My neighbor probably will never listen to this in Kansas, but my neighbor, his name's Ray. He's literally like, oh, he had to be like 55, 60. We went out right when I got that 24-foot a year or so ago. We went out for 3 hours, and he taught me everything. He taught me how to back it up. We were on the gravel road going in a whole square in Kansas, like out in the country. And like he told me, back it up. He taught me, and that's how I learned to drive that, a gooseneck.
Well, hey, it's impressive.
I never drove a gooseneck. It was always pulling trailers.
I grew up on a farm, so hauling hay as a kid and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of driving was just, something I've always kind of known how to do. But I remember the first event we had last year at Mega Mud Fest at Pikes Off-Road Park, and they're like, man, there's this smoking hot blonde that just came in, pulling her own machine and trailer. It's not the norm to see, a young, pretty blonde girl kind of showing up to parks by herself, bringing a couple machines, 30-foot trailer, diesel truck.
Yeah.
It was just not the norm, to say
yeah,
the least.
because normally she, got a man or something. But no, I was single back then.
Yeah.
But no, that's how I learned. I do still like, pulling the gooseneck. I get like freaked when I want to get gas, like to get diesel, because I'm like, where can I pull in to get diesel?
True.
Because so many places are just so narrow, and I freak out. So thankfully, I have Ryan. Ryan, you guys know my boyfriend. He does everything now, so I don't really have to do much.
Well, it's being on it. Okay, that's true. He is fun to watch on that. That's for sure.
Yeah. And Ryan, he doesn't want to do any hill climbs.
The hill climb stuff is, but it's good to know, and it's just one of those things. Either you love it or you hate it. That's kind of one of those things. And the hill stuff is, you're going to have rollovers, you're going to have flips, you're going to have some bad accidents, or
you got to be ready for it.
Yeah, in the mud, you can still have those same things, but it's a little bit more forgiving. I mean, you might roll 5, 6, 7 times down a hill, and a lot of people aren't into that. And again, you break parts, so I will say more often, because I do feel like in the mud, you break more parts, but you can destroy your machine in the hill.
And I've noticed having a big side-by-side, like I don't really wear my harnesses a lot because like you're so high up. Like if you do flip, like if you're in water, it's easy to get out real quick. But I will be wearing a helmet this year. I do not care because I'm tired of my extensions getting dirty and being all nasty. I pay good money for my hair, y'all. I'm not joking. You'll see me in a helmet. You'll see me in a jacket. I'll be looking like you. I will be wearing a jacket. I'm wearing a jacket. I am bundled up. Y'all will know that it is me, but I'm bundled up. I'm not doing the mud in my hair anymore. I'm girly still.
That's why I wear the bandana. I don't want to my hair either. I got to protect my mullet.
Did you see me in Arkansas? Oh my gosh, my tapes, like my extensions were so bad. I went to the hotel and took them out. And I was like, oh, never again. I'm tired of it. Washing it out, caring for my hair was enough. And my hairdresser didn't really care for it either.
And the mud gets everywhere.
Yeah, and I have my eyelash extensions, and I go the next day, whenever I get back to town, like I'll go the next day, and she's like, what in the heck happened?
Well, don't you think it's funny that the rock people hate to get their machines muddy? And I'm talking a speck of mud.
Yes.
Well, the mud people are at the car wash for an hour, and the rock crawlers are literally there for 2 minutes, and they're complaining. It's just so funny that a guy or gal that will kill themselves for rolling down a hill 20 times doesn't want to get a speck of mud on their machine.
Yeah, exactly. And we do have Rafe here, so Rafe, I sponsored him. He hates getting his machine dirty.
He let Sexy Santa get it dirty for him, though.
Yeah, he did.
Who washed that, too? Did you wash that?
No, he did.
Did he? Okay, that's solid.
Yeah.
He wouldn't pay to clean it.
So, yeah, Rafe, he likes to keep things clean. I let him borrow my Honda Talon, and he brought that thing back so clean. Oh, man, he cleaned it so good.
Is Rafe going to be doing the hill climbs?
No.
Okay, so turn and burn, stage 1, probably.
Maybe.
And maybe knockout races?
Probably more than likely knockout
Okay.
races for sure.
Well, the money we're giving away for knockout races, and I don't know if
You
you.
might as well do it. I mean,
Well, we
really.
basically have 4 events. We have
Yeah.
what we call the side-by-side hill climb race. That's any tires, and then we have what we call the stage 1 and stage 2 side-by-side. We call them battle courses, but most people know the word bounty course, where it has like mud holes, mud sloughs, and obstacles in it. 35-inch tire down in stage 1,
Yeah.
36-inch tire and up in stage 2, and then we have the ATVs that go through that same course.
Yeah.
But we did add the mega trucks to 3 of the Pikes events this year. They're part of the battle
How many
series.
trucks do you think is coming?
We had
to
about
that Pikes
20 last year.
I know that thing was huge.
And
Oh,
this-
that March event was
Well,
amazing.
and we had Louisiana Mudfest the same weekend, which is Louisiana Mudfest again the same weekend this year. Which we had our event first, and then they put their event up. So I hate competing against any other park.
Oh, I hate when events clash.
I do too,
Because then
but-
you got people that want to go here, but then you have
Yeah.
people that want to go here. I will tell you this: my schedule is set. I will be at every Missouri Mutters event scheduled.
great.
Yeah, every single one, unless I'm like deathly sick or some. Well, no, I'll still be there if I'm sick. I'll just wear a mask.
Well, we can't thank you enough.
Yeah, I'm excited. And then I've told you guys like episode 3, like episode 5 or something. I don't know. But that's where Ryan and I met. We actually met at a Missouri Mutters event. And, you know, if you're single and you're looking, you might find someone. Rafe's single. So, anyways, but yeah, like, I don't know. I was really happy that I met Ryan and we started dating that way. And it's awesome because I was really single. But I did bring a lot of people when I was single. I
Well,
still do, but I'm just saying. Not
And you were living on the wrong side of Missouri. You're on the west side, and
Yeah,
unfortunately,
no,
the
I
west
was
side.
living in Kansas.
There's nothing to do as far as off-roading. Really,
Yeah.
not a lot of parks there. Everything is kind of more central Missouri, on eastern Missouri, and the kind of western Illinois.
I remember when I went to the very first event, the mud event or whatever, I did not have any of that stuff on my Facebook. And then someone added me to the Missouri Mutters page and then the WTF off-road. And I was like, whoa, this is bigger than I thought.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people with side-by-sides out there. I thought it was just, oh, I have a side-by-side, you know? No. And then I saw jacked up ones, but no, Larry, he's a good friend. But he's the one that got me sold on the KRX because I already had a KRX, but like it wasn't built up. And he's like, yeah, you can drive mine in March. And I drove it and I said, okay, when can I bring mine up?
He's a great guy.
And that's how it happened.
Yeah.
I drove Larry's, I loved his, and we got it going. And that's how I got my big side-by-side. And I paid good money to get it all.
He loves his
Oh, I
Kawasaki. Now, I don't feel there's no brand that pays me to drive anything. I just want whatever the best machine is, so
Yeah.
I don't care what I have to jump to. But I know Larry loves his Kawasaki.
But I can say this, every time I've taken that side-by-side out, it has not broke on me.
well, that's
Like the
the
KRX, like it's
They're tanks.
they're tanks. That's what they call them.
They're
Like
not
it
the
has not
fastest.
broke on me.
They don't have
Other
the best
than
suspension, but they just
other
do not
minor
break.
things, yeah.
True.
But KRX, they're cool. I'll be honest, they are kind of ugly stock. Like buying them stock.
But aren't most of them ugly,
But
though.
with
Even
the stock
Can-Am
cages,
players,
yeah,
every-
with the cages
Kinda
going
boxy.
up with the, I don't know. When I got the cage, I instantly sent them off a month later and got new cages on both of them. Well, one of them's already done, but I don't know. I was like, yeah, this needs a new cage, and then it changes the whole look.
True.
You know, a lot of people, you know, they just think that, you know, you can have the custom cage, that's fine, but you know, a lot of people upgrade to not a custom cage, stock cage, but a lot of people get custom cages because they look different. It makes them look different, and it's also safer, in my opinion.
Agreed.
If you look at stock cages, nope. Like if the KRX stock cage, just look that up online. It's literally, they got no, half of them don't even have a roof on them. And it's like, if you flip over, there's nothing there.
And, you know, but, well, you're already big time, but you're definitely going to be big time. But I mean, who would rather see a bunch of guys doing this or a bunch of pretty girls doing this?
Pretty girls.
100%. I
Yeah.
mean, it's a
Pretty
no-brainer.
girls.
So I'm always rooting for the gals.
And I feel like the crowd gets more hyped up whenever girls get ready to compete.
100%.
They're all screaming.
and the pressure it puts on the guys.
Oh, I know,
Oh
because
my
they're like,
gosh.
oh, dang, here
Yes.
she goes. Yeah.
Well, and to think, like I said, when Laura won and you won, I mean,
yeah.
it broke a lot of hearts.
The first event I
egos.
raced in, I was so nervous. I think I got like 5th or 6th, but out of 9. I called my mom upset, and she's like, Gabby, were you the only girl? I said, no, another girl. And she's like, but how many men did you just beat?
And, you're
And I'm like, oh, shoot, you're right.
people racing WTF events and things.
Yeah,
I mean, you know,
yeah.
the thing about our stuff, it's not, you know, this isn't your intermediate. You're just kind of cutting your teeth. You know,
Yeah.
this is the best of the best drivers. And like I said, I don't know. It's kind of, you know, all of a sudden you just decided to run track one day and you just decided to go in the Olympics, and now you're on the Olympic team and, you know, competing for gold. Not too many people get to do that, but
Yeah.
I think it's the drive, and it's what you've done in OnlyFans, and I
Yeah.
think your career. I think when you have a goal, you just, you know, you put 100% into it, and
Oh, yeah.
a lot of people don't do that. They
you
say
know,
they want to do it, but they won't do the work to do that.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, let's talk about, so a lot of people don't know what, like, turn and burns are,
Okay.
knockout races. So
Yeah.
let's talk about what a turn and burn
Okay.
is.
So a turn and burn is, there's two different ways you can do this. You can race someone. We like to have two people racing at the same time, and we call it single elimination. So it's not a timed event. It's basically you just have to beat the person beside you. And think about the size of a football course or field. It's about 100 yards, and we would put a cone kind of at the end zone on the other side. Like you would take off from one end zone and go all the way to the other end zone and turn around a cone and come back. And you can have obstacles in that. There can be like mud holes, whoops, jumps, things of that nature. But that's usually what a tournament is. You just drive around. You drive straight down a bit of a stretch of a field or road, wherever it's at. Turn around and come back to the finish line. So pretty simplistic, but very difficult to do over and over and over correctly. Because sometimes you overdrive, sometimes you underdrive, and there's where some of the problems can arise, and flips and rollovers and stuff like that. It's more of it's like drag racing with a turn.
Yeah, okay. Let's talk about knockout races.
Knockout races. Kind of the same thing. A knockout race is definitely where you're going to be racing someone at the same time. Now, we're going to be doing a couple, actually 3 of these. We're going to do one at the Troy Fair, the Lincoln County Fair. And I think, what is the date on that? I believe that is July 14th.
Which I don't know if I'm going to that one.
That's a Friday night.
What is it?
Yeah,
like,
okay.
What's going on
it's
there?
going to be like a turn and burn, but we're going to have a lot more obstacles. Like there's going to be big ramps. There's going to be a car you're going to drive
tire,
over.
big tire.
More for small tire. It's
Yeah,
going to be a sport class. We're going to do a utility class side by side, a sport class side by side, and then like a tough truck challenge. So if you have a Jeep or truck or something like that, we're going to let you use that for that.
Okay.
But the other two, the Jim Trineri Big Money Knockout races, we're paying $15,000 in total payout for each of those races. That's $30,000 Jim Trineri's giving away as far as their knockout races at Pikes Off-Road Park for July 20th through the 23rd, and the other one is September 7th through the 10th. And now those are not going to be quite as extreme, and those are going to be for side-by-sides, the sport class, the side-by-side utility class, and ATVs.
Yeah.
But we'll have some jumps and ramps and things of that nature, probably a few logs laying down that you'll go across. But that will be the knockout races. Kind of the same thing that we're doing at the fair, just a little different setup as far as course.
So, okay, what's like the prices whenever, like if someone wants to come to our events, like what are the prices to get in so people know?
$60 for, if you're at Pikes, it's Thursday through Sunday, you'll pay $60, or $40 for Friday through Sunday.
Oh,
now,
okay.
Flying W is a little different. It's only Friday through Sunday, $60, and Saturday through Sunday is $40. And basically, you're looking at $20 a day.
To go riding through all the trails,
which is what the park's charge in the first place per person. So you're not really paying anything extra. And there's giveaways. I mean, Pikes has like a 250-foot slip and slide.
Yeah. The slip and slide. Yeah. I didn't get to do that last year.
It's a good time. We had a competition in it.
I'll go down. I don't want to walk up.
we'll make one person walk up in the 4-person team.
Yeah.
It was definitely a hike to do that. But no, just a lot of great things to do at Flying W and Pikes. As far as events, but turn and burns and the knockout race are essentially the same thing. It's just kind of what we add to the obstacles.
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about what's this say? New diamond sponsor?
Oh yeah. We Three Motors. We just got our new diamond sponsor. We're going to release the name of it Tuesday. We can't quite do it yet, so we're going to release that on the Missouri Motor Facebook page on Tuesday. But they're the overall. The series is going to be powered by them.
Okay. So list your, like how it says diamond, what are we, bronze? List
Diamond.
What does those mean? Like
diamond, well I said we have diamond, gold, silver, bronze, and then just a basic.
Yeah.
So the diamond is the overall. We have one overall sponsor for the entire thing. And then our gold is kind of like a next package. It's kind of down from that to where they're still one of our overall sponsors and live feeds. And we talk still about a little bit more, things like that. Then you have the silver and the bronze, which is kind of basically the same thing. It's just the amount of exposure and banners, the size of those things.
And Ryan and I are going to be on banners this year, right?
For bronze, yes.
Yeah, for bronze, you're gonna see our names on it.
You absolutely will.
Oh my gosh, okay. So if y'all see that, take a pic of it. I'm gonna, is it gonna be like when you drive in? Is it gonna say something or whatever?
Yes, when you drive in, we'll definitely have Baby Gabs and Dixie.
Ryan's gonna be getting out. Gab, take a picture of me. Take a picture.
But just remember, I always start with Baby Gabs.
More money for a bigger part of the banner.
Oh, I know that.
What's that?
Sponsor more money for a bigger
banner.
Hey, we can get you a bigger banner, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Not that much more.
I remember when I had my 40-foot, it had that camper on it. I was gonna, get someone to paint that camper and put Baby Gabs, like my face on it. But then I was like, People will see me.
Well, yeah, I think you're at the point kind of at your fame to where it's kind of nice probably being the park where I think most people already know who you are, kind of following you around, but have a place maybe you can get away with or not exactly. Because if you have your face on the side of the camper, they're going to know that's your camper.
That's my camper, yeah. No, everyone that I've seen, like that I met last year getting into it, everyone's so nice. Like everyone, they're so welcoming. So like when you go to these parks, like our events, like everyone's just always saying, hey, hi, you know, if someone breaks down, there's other people that's going to help you.
Well, and you take the time. I mean, I don't know how many times I saw you taking pictures or signing autographs, things to
people.
people.
Oh, yeah.
A lot. And a lot of people, they don't want to do that. They just want to get there and have a good time or party. But no matter the time, you always took the time to take a picture with someone. And that means a lot to a lot of people.
And it's crazy because like I've had more girls than guys message me saying, oh, I saw you at the event, but I was too scared to come say hi. More girls say that than men. And I'm like, girl, come up and say hi. It's so shocking.
Intimidating. You are intimidating.
And, you know, we went down to Arkansas and one of the girls there was like, you know, she messaged me like 2 days later and was like, hey, I saw you at an Arkansas event. I'm like, why didn't you come say hi? She was like, I was so nervous. And I was like, what? I'd say hi to anyone, but that's me. It's, you know, some people are scared to say hi or whatever. But I'm nice. I'm always nice.
Well, you're one of the most inviting people I've ever met, especially someone that has the clout that you have. Mm-hmm. So it's just nice to see, and you bring a lot of people to the park.
Yeah, a lot of people were more like taken off. Like I got into the mud world last year, and well, my ride got done in June last year, but I went to one of the events, like, what was it, March? Yeah. So, like, when I got into it, a lot of, like, my rock climbing friends were like, what the heck? Like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm going to mud events. I'm sorry. Like, you guys are awesome, but I'm not riding with you anymore because I used to take KRX out all the time. But I don't know. I just went into mud events. I jacked up my side-by-side, got it done in June, and fell in love with mud events. Like, they're just something different than just riding trails.
Well,
like, it's something so different.
And the people, I mean, and again, we have great people, but it's just a different style of person that comes to mud events, that comes to hill climbing events. And I'll just, you know, and I love the hill climbers, and I love to do hill climb stuff too. But, you know, the hill climbing, I feel like there's a lot more testosterone. It's about, you know, hey, I'm better than you. And
I don't do no hill climbing.
You know, the power drinking, where the mud person's more of the laid back, you know, barbecuing hot dogs on their 30-pack by lunch. Just having a good time.
Now, I love watching Sexy Santa do the hill climb. Yeah. He is zooming up with his little whips on the back. Yeah. They're whipping back and forth. I think he's got the biggest whips I've ever seen.
Same here.
The biggest whips.
I keep telling him, I was like, they're slowing you down because of the resistance in the air.
Yeah, and then, you know, it's a branch.
But he's like, you always...
Yeah, truck stops for sure, like Lowe's and stuff to get into. But I actually had to call my neighbor. I was in the town that I lived in, and I got stuck. Like, I was freaking out. I had to call him. It was like one of the first times I went and got diesel. I was like, what do I do? And he's like, you got this. And he walked me through it. But yeah, he was like a dad figure to me because, you know, like my stepdad wasn't in the picture at the moment, and my real dad is never in the picture. But like, I don't know. He's the one that talked me into driving the gooseneck, and I love it more than pulling a trailer.
Well, didn't you drive to Taylorville last year also?
Yeah. Okay, I pulled the 40-foot to that, yeah.
That's right.
But I also brought a bodyguard with me, so he drove half the way. Okay. And yeah, he's the one that pulled in and got gas for me and stuff. But no, like, from going to a 24 gooseneck to a 40-foot was a different change because I had to watch how I pulled out and stuff. But I was already under my belt. I knew how to pull a gooseneck. But no, yeah, I just learned, like, last year when I bought it. Yeah.
As far as I
catch on fast.
Well, I was going to say, as far as a short span, I mean, most of these people have been doing this for 10 or 20 years. So to see somebody kind of new to the scene, I will say, but you kind of have taken over, I feel like a lot of aspects, especially there's a lot of females now. And I was saying at the beginning of last year and the year before, I feel like we have the best female team in the country. And I'm always challenging, if you're in Alabama, you're in Florida, you're in California, do you want to challenge, you want to do some races, you want to do like bounty course stuff, you want to do mud stuff, you get a hold of me, we'll bet $5,000. I'll put our Missouri Motor Gals against anybody in the country. It's just amazing to see where you're at in a year. So I can only imagine in the next year or two how much better you're going to be. And
I know. I was just talking with Rafe and Ryan about getting a 4-wheeler next year and jacking it up instead of another. Because every year I do a side-by-side. Yeah. Like, why? Like, you know, let me be in a little, you know, 4-wheelers. Let me jack up one. I'll do a 4-wheeler.
Well, you'd be basically doing everything.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, might as well. Like,
and I'm sure Trey wants to get you out of the big tire class because you need his biggest competition he's going to have.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. But I think I'm more excited just to be Kirkland. So yeah, because he hates when Justin hates when I win against him.
Well, let's just put it this way, Gabby. I mean, you're a Missouri Motor. All we do is own everyone from Arkansas. We'd like to thank the people of Arkansas and Mark Carter. You put us up 2 tax brackets last year, and we expect to do the same again this year. So thanks, good people of Arkansas. They're wonderful.
They're so nice.
They are.
They're
Well, when you're
so
slow,
nice.
you have a lot of time to talk. So I guess that's the issue with people in Arkansas.
They're welcoming too. Like when we went to the parks last year, or whatever, they're very welcoming. They like come up and they'll just start talking to you. Random people, and even Missouri Motors. So you guys are all nice too. I haven't been to an event that I felt uncomfortable at.
Good.
I've been to every event that I've went to. I felt really good about.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you're a big part of Missouri Motors, and between sponsoring, and you are one of
I just
our
told
bronze
them
sponsors.
last podcast I'm now sponsoring.
Missouri Motors want to thank you so much for your bronze sponsorship and your continued sponsorship on Turn and Burns and
Oh,
bikini contests. Everything we've done, you have been there. You and Ryan. And
I don't know if I can do any more bikini contests. He's already telling me I can.
Well, I
so we got to talk to him about it.
We'll convince Ryan.
I got this new set. I got to show him off.
I think the good people in the Midwest need one more bikini contest in 2023 for
so
sure.
I've been in 2 of their bikini contests. The first one, I literally dropped down to my knees to start dancing, and I fractured my kneecap. I think it hit one of the nails that was on the trailer, and hopping down from my KRX and up that night. Like that's the reason I went to the doctors when I got back on Sunday. Well, Monday I went, and they're like, "Yeah, it's fractured." So I was on crutches for like 2 weeks. And it was just awful. I mean, it was fun. I had fun.
Well, the crowd loved it. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
I
still see videos of it, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
The crowd's still talking about that one. I'll just say,
it was fun. And then the second one I did, I loved that swimsuit, the little American flag one I did. Yeah, and it fits so much better now that I got my boots done. But I love it. I want to be in another one because I just want to get up there. Because there's not a lot of people that get into it. Like, to the bikini like, you literally have to bribe them. Like, get up here in a bikini and let's do it. And I even bring extra bikinis just in case someone wants to do it, But I'm all about, I love getting into everything except for small tire. I'm just not into the small tire.
It's a different animal.
And I feel like if I wasn't small tire, Ryan and I would butt heads. He would be like, nope, absolutely not. You're not going to compete against me. So we keep our classes different. Yes, it should be different in your eyes that Ryan should have a bigger side-by-side and I have the smaller one. But no, I have the big side-by-side. Ryan's got the small one.
You said it, I didn't.
It's just different because when people talk about it, like when we do go out to eat and stuff, like Ryan and I, like we'll talk about our side-by-sides and show pictures. I'll show my KRX and then he'll show his and they're like, oh, hers is bigger. And he's like, yeah.
He pulls it with a Mini Cooper. I'm just kidding. No, well, no one is really hard. I mean, you, Laura Hetner. I mean, there's just a handful like Nora, Janelle Mabry.
Yeah.
I mean, there's
Janelle, she's a bad.
Yeah, but she's on a small tire, like Dana. She'll be on a small tire. But I mean, really, you and Laura are the only 2 that I can think about
that's in big
tire.
Yeah.
And Laura won the overall championship last year, and you were right there with her.
Because I only started in like the middle of the season. Just think if I would have started, I would have learned a little bit more.
And you got third, I think, in the toughest one we had, when we had the most people
in. So. I feel like I would have got second if I would have. That's the reason Ryan and I ordered headsets because I didn't know if I should make that turn or whatever, and I had to reverse. If you reverse in a competition, guys, your time is you're wasted time. Like, try not to reverse. That's what I'm saying. If you don't have to reverse, don't reverse.
Well, the machines have gotten so good to where even the machines from 2 years ago, and Ryan and I were kind of talking about this a couple of years ago, you could just basically, the first event I ever won, I bought the machine from STL Power Sports, drove it straight to the bounty hole, and actually won the bounty hole. Wow. Not a mod, nothing to it, but those days are kind of almost done because the competition, especially in the Midwest, is so good. We have so many great drivers. That's what we've been trying to do. We've been trying to promote the parks around Missouri to where we don't have to drive to Texas and Alabama. We love going to Arkansas. We love the people. Other than Missouri, it's our favorite place to go. They treat us like family.
Is it Carter's in Arkansas?
It is.
So, apparently we might be going to Arkansas here in a couple weeks.
March, and for sure in May we'll be down there again.
And I'm hoping here in like the next week and a half y'all see my new one, which I'm excited to show you guys.
So how are you going to unveil it? Is it going to be a
probably just pictures. Facebook? I think Facebook pictures, Instagram pictures, Snapchat, all my social media, and then TikTok, do a video of it. But I will tell my social media, hey, it's going to be announced at this time, so people know that I'm announcing it, so it gets more people on to look at it. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Like
trying to get people, hey, be on at 6. I'm posting at 6.
And the first event that possibly you will do will be beginning of March at Carter's.
No, the beginning of March is at Carter's, and then the end is at Flying W.
Yes.
Which, yeah, if you guys need to know my schedule, message me or, come to a side-by-side event. If you have a side-by-side, come to it. Like, come to one of our events if you're close to it. And if you don't have anyone to ride with, you can ride with us. Like, all you have to do is say, hey, I want to come. I don't have a lot of friends, because that's how I was when I got my side-by-side. I didn't have a lot of friends. I didn't, a lot of guys around me rode, and they invited me, but I didn't have any, friends that would be like, yeah, come ride with me. I had to make my friends into the group. But yeah, if you have a side-by-side or, anything you want to ride, just come out. You can be in our group. I bring a lot of people to ride with us.
You bring a ton of people.
I brought, what was his name? Mikey. He lives
from Wisconsin.
Yeah, Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
I brought him to Illinois or whatever, because he messaged me and he said, hey, I want to come to Taylorville, Illinois last July. He's like, but I don't have a place to stay. I said, cool, I have a camper. You want to sleep in it? So he slept in where the table goes. And he booked in there, or he stayed there with me, and my bodyguard slept in the bed that night or whatever.
And super nice guy.
I brought him. He's coming to Taylorville too this year. But yeah, no, I invite anyone. If you need a place to stay or whatever, maybe we can share the hotel room. I don't even care.
Well, I'm not sure I'm going to go that far with me, but if you need to get in our group, we're Missouri Mutters on Facebook. You can download us, send a message, or MissouriMutters.org has our schedule. That's on there too, and we'd love to have you some events. And if you don't have a machine, like I said, most of the places we go to, other than I'll say the hill climb race at Pikes, where you park at, you're right where all the action's at. You can literally just pull a cooler up, a couple chairs, and watch basically everything that's going to happen.
Okay, so what's your opinion? So whenever males get up to compete, but whenever the females get up to compete, who's your favorite to watch?
Oh, of course it's females. I mean, I've been saying this for the last couple of years.
Yeah.
We're pitching a pilot to hopefully discover, actually probably to pilot Pioneer, Discovery, one of these type of entities to try to get more of an off-road show on Discovery is what we would like to do.
Yeah, so y'all hear that? If that happens, not going to happen. But he literally forced himself in my machine.
That's crazy.
I was just driving, and he literally pulled the door open. I stopped. He got in, and I said, I'm going to knock you out. I'm going to do it. He was drunk, out of it. I was like, I can't do it.
Well, that's scary, especially being a female. Well, I was scared being a male, and I'm going to ask my wife. I'm not. I mean, I'll fight a tree if I have to, but I told her with my mouth and as much crap as I talk, we're gonna have to get a group. I was in a motorcycle club. I was like, if I don't get a group of people, I'm going to get killed because I'm going to say something down here. So we came back home and we're going to try to get a group of 50 people, and 50 people grew into 7,500.
Yeah.
And then
do you want more members in the group?
Oh, of course,
do you
absolutely.
just want side-by-side members in it, or what? You want a lot of people to watch us?
Right. We literally will do. We've done foot races. We've done beer chugs. We call ourselves Missouri Mutters. In hindsight, I'm a chiropractor, so I've had 8.5 years of school. So females have faster reaction times. They have better reflexes.
Yeah.
Really, there's no reason that a male should ever beat a female when it comes to side-by-side racing, and it's starting to show. Females are just getting the confidence now, I think, to get their own machine. And a few years ago, they just want to be passengers. Well, now somebody no to their husband or boyfriend, I want my own machine.
Yeah, they see their own female
like you.
be racing, and they're like, why can't I do that?
And that's all we've needed.
Yeah.
I've seen them race on the trails like this, and that's why when you go to Arkansas and Texas and some of these other places, why Missouri Mutters are so successful. And I say we are the best all-around racing group in the country as far as trucks, side-by-sides, ATVs. There's no one better. Now, I'm going to give a shout-out to Byron Starr at the 904. If you're just talking side-by-sides, that would definitely be our biggest competition. They're amazing and tough to beat. But as far as everything, there's no one better, I feel like, than the Missouri Mutters when it comes to that.
Yeah. Okay. And if you do want to race and you're a female, just do it.
I agree.
Just do it.
You
have nothing to lose.
No, we are one of the few entities. We're the one of the few promotions that do not charge an entry fee for any of this. So if you want to do any of this, it's all free. So you don't have to worry about paying entry fees. And this is where I disagree with some of the. There's a couple parks that I love to go to, and big promotions out there, but they charge you, $50, $80, and I hate that. I understand it's a business in the day, but we do this for fun, so we give all the money back.
Oh, there are parks that charge for you to compete?
Absolutely, and other promotions that charge too. Yep, absolutely.
How much do you have to pay?
$150 for 2 runs or $80 for 1 run. And
what?
If your machine breaks on the first run.
I get it, profit at the end of the day, but
because they're doing it as a job, where we do it more as a hobby, and we're trying to build Missouri. We're just trying to build a state up because we have the best drivers. I feel like in Missouri and Illinois and the entire country. There's no better drivers. We just have to get the parks on board. The thing we're lacking is having a lot of parks to choose from. So we're going to a lot of parks and trying to develop the park and give them racing aspects of their parks. Hill climbs, bounty holes, bounty courses, things like that. But in the last year, there's probably been 4 or 5 parks in Missouri that's opened up. We've got to go check a couple of them out, and we're really excited.
I guess
for
I
the next
didn't
2 or
know
3
that
years.
that you have, you know, some parks. Now, does that go to like the big pot of money they win, or is that just like that goes some of it and then goes back into the park or whatever?
Yeah, I'm not gonna say names. I mean, from what I know, I think it's part. You know,
I guess I
pays
just
for
didn't
their
know that.
salaries
You know,
and
because I've only went to Missouri Motors.
Right.
You know, but people do want me to go down to Texas, and then we're talking about
or
Alabama. I guess I just haven't ventured out to all those parks. You know?
And you'll have to pay for those to get in those events. And again,
for sure, if I can race, I'm gonna pay.
Yeah,
That's cool with me.
You know, but we just want to give you no excuse. I mean, you have zero excuse not to try Missouri Motor Grid because it's not going to cost you $1.
Yeah.
And you never know.
It might cost you a whole machine if you ride.
Well, I mean, that's true. You don't look at it like that.
Yeah.
You know, we're going to knock on the wood right
here.
now. We have had no one that has had a bad accident.
Yeah.
We try to set the course up to where, yes, could there still be some problem areas, but
Yeah.
we try to eliminate the major problems, and that is so difficult of designing these courses to make them where they're super fun to watch for the fans, but still safe for the racers. And, you know, once in a while we, you know, push the envelope a little bit, but we've been really lucky. There's been no one hurt, and hopefully we get through 2023 season with the same thing.
I haven't seen anyone actually hurt other than Ryan. Before I was dating him, he flipped over or whatever. Remember, he was getting ready to go and he flipped over.
At the one event, was that a turn and burn?
No, it was him in stage one. He was racing, he flipped over. That's before I even started dating him. That scared me. But more people talk about people in their accidents than anything.
We had a few people rolling over on their side for sure. You know, Steve King, Dana Collins.
With
James.
the turn and burn stuff.
Well,
because you get down there and you want to whip it around, but you're going over. That was my very first accident.
They look so easy, those turn and burns, you know, because you're just like, oh, I'll just go down here, drive around a cone, and come straight back.
No.
But, you know, you're flying and, you know,
and you're paying attention to the next person, you know. And I'm a fan of the turn and burn, but I don't obviously have a machine that's...
Well, thank you for saying that, because there was a lot of people, we brought... All these ideas, these aren't like my ideas. Cheryl and I went all over the country, my wife, and competed and raced, and we said, you know what, we're tired of going out of the state.
Yeah.
And we decided, you know what, we want to try to get with some parks. We want to see if we could just bring the best of certain parks to what we have in Missouri, and that's kind of what we've done. Is we've just taken other ideas from other people and brought it to Missouri, and it's worked out great. And the turn and burn, it's almost like street outlaws with us now. I mean, people are up there betting money. This year, we're actually going to have a light system. That they'll be able to go up and yellow light, green light, you'll be able to take off. And
do you think a lot of people are going to jump at that?
You know,
Ryan?
Possibly. You know, Ryan is so fast. Ryan just needs to wait another half a second before he takes off.
That's why I try to film him.
The only way Ryan ever loses is if he jumps.
He jumps. Yeah, you know, down in Arkansas, they're like, he jumped, and I'm like, here, I'm the only one that videoed it. Me and another guy.
I didn't see the video, but I heard it was instant.
As soon as it went, as soon as his hand went down, like the flag or whatever, he went boom. But my video, I did it slow motion, and it was right. And I know I was coming at them as his girlfriend, but I was like, he didn't jump. I promise you he didn't.
Well, like I told him, you were racing a Ranger. I'm not sure why you were jumping in the first place.
Yeah.
True
but
story.
no, that thing was going.
Yeah.
Like, he was whipping it.
I heard he had up to 92 horsepower, that Ranger.
He had beer in his hand, too.
Ryan could have beat him in reverse.
Literally. But no, he was taking it so serious. And I'm like, ugh.
Well,
they also had it on rock. I like it when it's on ground.
You can't have it on rock.
No.
It's dangerous. It's going to get someone hurt.
Well, because when they went back, like they went, you know, all that smoke or all that dust was in their face.
Yeah, that gets a little...
And then you got the crowd right there. You know, at least we push ours back. We push ours way back because when they fly back, the crowd don't need to be right there.
Well, that's the only... Oh, it's not a bad thing. It's a great thing. But when you're racing someone, they're just a little bit ahead of you. You know, you just keep that throttle down a little bit longer. Yeah. So when you're racing a time, you don't have that person beside you. So you generally won't see someone push their machine as much as when you start doing the knockout style races or the single elimination beside each other.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about... Oh, you can talk about Chuck's.
Oh, yeah. Well, our boot line. At Chuck's Boots. Yeah, we have a boot line, the Missouri Motor boot line there. It's... I think they're the best boots in the market.
I remember when those boots came out. Those boots came out, and Ryan wanted a pair.
Fish scale. They still have some there. You need to get a pair, Ryan.
Pair of boots.
The boots, they're the most. It's like wearing a sock. I forgot what kind of fish scale that is on there, but I know Sean from Chuck's Boots. I was always asking him.
That's cool how you guys did a deal and got boots. You know, those are cute.
With Anderson Bean, it took about a year to get that done, but we have the MMs on the pull tabs. But Sean always wears Anderson Bean.
Oh, like to have your logo on that.
So
what come up with the MM? Like I know Missouri Motors, but who designed that?
I did.
You did.
And Cheryl, Cece didn't like it.
Yeah.
She did not like the stack tips because we had the M's. The old school was the first one we printed 20 off, like 20 hats, 20 shirts. And we had the M's beside each other, and I was like, man, I just don't like that. And I came back and I was like, I think we should stack them. And she was like, nope, I hate it. And a few other people said the same thing. And luckily, I don't ever listen to anyone, so I always I try to get their opinion. If I like it, it's great. If I don't, I'll still do what I want to do.
Well, it takes time, like to find the logo you kind of want. I like the MM.
Well,
I think
thanks.
it's, and it looks sharp. So.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, that's kind of the lettering I do for Baby Gabs. It's on my side-by-side. It's kind of like sharp.
It's
like
easy
that.
to see. It doesn't take up a lot of space.
Yeah.
And our whole thing is, we have 7,500 members on Facebook right now.
Yeah, I saw that. It was crazy.
We wanted 50 a couple years ago. The whole thing that started with us was I'd bought a machine, and the guy that I bought it from, I bought my first machine at STL Power Sports, and there was a guy named there, Nick, was the service manager, was a real good friend of mine, and he always had to work Saturdays, and he was like, man, I can never go to these parks, but he's like, you should go to these parks.
Yeah.
And I was like, so Cheryl and I, we decided, I went to Moonlight. I mean, this is how much of an amateur I was.
I've never been to Moonlight, yeah.
Well, it's crazy, hill climbs. Well, I showed up on Outlaw 2 tires in a high lifter for the first 2 times that I went, and was going trail riding. So people knew that I was obviously a novice at that point in time. But we decided we were going to go to Bricks in Poplar Bluff. And if you know anything about Bricks, it's Missouri's biggest event that they do. Every year, they probably have about 10,000 people, 12,000 people there. And it's just crazy. It's wild, a lot of drinking, just a fun. We love to go. Well, Cheryl and I had went down there, and people were like, we're driving, we call it the Gauntlet, down this big mud hole area. And people were like jumping in our machine and screaming inside of it. I mean, it was out of control. Yeah, I looked at her, and she looked at me, and it was just her and I that went down.
And what event was this?
This was the Bricks.
That's what happened to me. Like when I first got my side-by-side in June, like a guy hopped in with me, and he's like, let me ride with you. I said, you better get the heck out of my machine.
There's some
I'm
crazy
gonna
people out
knock
there.
you out.
I agree.
And he was like, oh, okay.
Well, somewhat. And it's a pretty hard play bottom. It gives people a place to go hang out at night, listen to music.
Yeah, because like when people are at Pikes and they like want to hang out with people, like they're always in the trails.
Right.
So if you could have a party pond just like Bricks, it's good to hang out there.
Right.
Because some people don't like to do the trails. Like the end of when they're done racing and stuff, they just want to hang out and just whatever. So that's me. I would be around the party pond.
Same here. And we're building the longest bounty course / battle course in the United States. It's going to be about a 1/4 mile long when it's all said and done.
Wow.
So a little bit of something for everyone. Whether you've got a Jeep, a side-by-side, dirt bike, 4x4.
So how many people do you think are going to get stuck in this pond?
I don't think a lot. Honestly, the bottom is so hard in it.
Yeah.
There'll be some I'm sure will get stuck. And who knows after it gets turned up a little bit. But, man, that clay up there is pretty... They've had a hard time actually getting the clay out of the ground, I should say. So that's why it's taken so long.
Oh.
And there's had some rain.
But it's going to be ready with April, right?
It'll be ready in April.
Okay. No, we're at 45 minutes. We're still good. We can talk for another 15 or so.
Okay.
We just chat. Okay, so we talked about the TV show that might be coming out, which is cool. And then mention what you already said it, but say it again. What, like at the TV show, like who are you trying to get? Like you said, Discover or what?
Yeah, Discovery is what I would like to be on. You
Okay.
know, I mean, you'd have to be on A&E. So
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, if they do bring that, and like if if I'm on it or if Ryan's on it.
Well, you will definitely be on it. I don't know if you had heard. So this is how the whole thing happened.
Whoa,
last year.
Oh, that was upsetting to Ryan. I'm definitely already
Ryan
done.
needs to know his place in this relationship, and it is definitely number 2.
So if I get, if I'm on it for sure, what if you're not on it? What are you gonna do? He's gonna peek in every time. Every time Gabby's doing
I'm
the
executive producer here.
Every time I'm doing the interview, Ryan's in the back.
Like, look, you come down to my house, I'm on that motherfucker.
So this is what happened. So last year there was a group. It's a company called Pioneer. So there's a lot of these companies that will actually pitch shows. Like the network will go to these companies and say, hey, we would kind of like to do a show like this. Go to, for example, they want to do something about a race series and about off-roading.
Yeah.
So they went to this company called Pioneer and said, hey, we want you to go to a bunch of these parks and start asking people questions and record some stuff and bring it back. Well, the guy's name was Bobby. I won't say his last name because I don't get him bombarded, but an executive producer with Pioneer. He had reached out to me and had heard, he was talking to other people and heard about our race team and that we were doing a race series and stuff like that, and that we went down to Arkansas and raced a lot. He was at an Arkansas game.
Yeah.
And so he wanted to possibly come up and talk to us about recording some stuff for a pilot they were going to do.
Yeah.
Well, in hindsight, Discovery ended up not picking it up, the race series or the off-road series. Now, they've said they still may do it, it's just not at this time.
Yeah.
So we're still going to try to push that pilot
to
them.
Yeah.
And luckily a good thing that just happened for me was Bobby left that company and went to work for another network. And that's how I just got back a couple of weeks ago. I was on a reality TV show out of the country, and it was a great experience. And hopefully I'm going to be able to use some of those contacts to really try to get this show off the ground. And I
Now, they're looking for drama too.
Well, of course.
So, like, when we do our own interview, can I talk so much crap about Ryan and stuff?
Absolutely.
Like, oh, this man won't leave me alone.
Now we have to build everyone up to be so nice when the TV cameras get around. I mean, well, it's kind of what got me on the show. I did an interview with the network, the actual producer of the show, and they kind of caught me on a day where I just wasn't having a great day. I was home for lunch. And I'd already done this a couple times before with the stuff at Discovery that didn't take off. So I thought, it's probably not going to happen again. So I was just more like, I was just kind of I won't say a turd, but I was just kind of more matter of fact where my delivery on stuff. And my wife came home that night. She goes, "Well, how'd the interview go?" And I said, "Oh, terrible." I said it just went terrible. Well, lo and behold, the next day they called and was like, "Yeah, no, they loved you. Want you to come do the show." And so you just never know what they're looking for. The point of the story is, I took a little different approach than a lot of other people. I was honest. So I didn't tell them what I thought they wanted to hear. I just told them who I really was, and that's going to come out anyway. So my thing is, if you're getting pitched for a show and cameras around, it's almost impossible the first time, I think, not to be starstruck, but just be who you are. They're either going to love it or hate it, and no chance being no next week.
That kind of reminds me, so I was on a professional cheer team in Kansas City. I was on the ice hockey team. I walked in with blue hair on my interview, being a cheerleader, and I was like, listen, I'll color it back tomorrow. And then there you go. Next day, I got signed.
You're going to love it or hate it.
Yeah, you just be yourself. Yeah. But no, I'm really excited. As soon as you told me that, I was like, what? And you were like, yeah, you might be on it, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, what?
Well, I've had to sign a non-disclosure, so I can't say the show that I was on right now.
Yeah, you can't say much.
I mean, a lot of people kind of know because they were asking to film about it, but this is the biggest reality show that they've ever done in TV history, and they're talking about the numbers is going to be the most watched TV show of all time.
Oh wow!
So I can't wait. It's supposed to come out in August or September, but really the thing I want is just the off-road stuff. I mean, so hopefully there's so many characters, and this. We have. I mean.
I really want to see a reality TV show. So I used to watch Buck Wild back in the day. Okay. I don't know if y'all watch Buck Wild, but it was like a teenage, like they were just teenagers, and like it ended because the star, he passed away. But like they just used to just go mudding through the like trees and everything, and I just loved it. So that kind of reminds me when you were talking about that. I was like,
was that Alabama? Was that were they?
Was it Alabama?
Or Georgia? Where were they out of?
I don't remember. But no, just look it up. Buck Wild. It ended after the first season. But that's what reminds me of what you're saying, like this show, and I'm like, they're gonna think we're all hicks.
Oh, well.
They're gonna think we are literally kind of, not to be rude, but trash, because you're riding in a side by side, okay?
A lot of people are gonna watch the show, and they're gonna really feel good about themselves. But not they're gonna realize that person there with the ripped jeans and the hole in their shirt maybe worth $20 million.
That's what I'm saying.
And the person that's coming in like they have everything, making from check to check. In the mudding and the off-road world, you never know. My uncle used to say, even when you know, you never know.
Yeah.
Don't judge a book by its cover, because there's a lot of money with people out there in it. But this show, these people were meant for these types of shows. I mean, reality TV. There's so many characters and so many just crazy people that I'm going to do my damnedest, and that's been the whole drive for this whole series and things that we've been doing, is to turn this into a TV show. And at this point, I think it's a 50-50 shot. I know Discovery's still interested.
Fingers crossed.
And we've got contacts now for when we pitch the pilot. We've got to do a lot of editing to get it right. But we're going to pitch 2 or 3 episodes of the pilot to send. But we've got the right people to send it to. So I really think they're going to pick it up in 2024.
I really hope they do. I think that's amazing. That's something huge.
Yeah.
You should be proud. That you got this going so far.
Absolutely.
So hopefully this reaches you guys. Sign it.
Yes, we need everyone on the Missouri Motors Facebook page, our YouTube page, Missouri Motors. TikTok, just join, like, share as much as you can.
Yeah, make it. You should. So I used to sell makeup back in the day, and like my group grew like by 5,000 people in it within a week because I did giveaways. Like you add 10 people, let me know when you added 10 people, and that's how you grow your page. You do a giveaway. Like if you ever do that, that's how you can grow your page. I wish I could teach you how to do it. I mean, it's just a giveaway, but a lot of people like free stuff.
No, that's true.
And that's how you gain people. Hey, you add 20 people, let me know when you added them, and you'll be entered for a giveaway.
Well, look at Mr. Beast. I mean, you're talking about the biggest guy on YouTube.
Oh, I love him.
That's what he does.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and he just gives money away like crazy.
Yeah, he's kind of next level.
Yeah.
But no, that's what it's just, Gabby, we've gotten so big so fast. It's honestly, we've really not had a time to take a breath.
Well, when I joined, you guys only had like, I think 4,000 people, and that was last year or so, or something like that. And now you have like, I think it was like 4,000 or 5,000.
Yeah, it's getting fast. Well, it's getting bigger faster. And
I like how you guys do the welcome messages too. So welcome to our. I don't know how you guys keep track of all that, but that's awesome.
We were at about 500 members to 1,000 members, and you can ask Cheryl. I felt like I knew every member. Yeah. The only thing now, we've got so many members now. It's I can't remember all the names. When I see people, I'll talk to anybody and thank them. But this is really all about.
And it's cool, like you welcome anyone. You
Of
know?
course, absolutely.
You know, a lot of people don't. You know, a lot of people are not in groups these days or anything, or like a side-by-side group. And you guys are so welcoming. You know, you welcome anyone.
Well,
so.
you and I have the same story. You know, we
Yeah.
kind of were outsiders in this, and people welcomed us in, so we felt like, you know,
I
we want
felt
to pay it
welcomed.
forward.
You
Good.
know, coming out of this, I was like, I went there with no machine, like, because mine left mine at home, and I just went up for a day, and I was like, dang, they are so welcoming. I met you, like, I think the second event that I went to or something, or maybe I said hi to you the first event. But no, I mean, I had a great time. It's a great. So, anyways, let's talk about, because we're going on 52 minutes here. So let's talk about. You can say all these events coming up and the dates.
Okay, so we are giving away $100,000 this year for the Missouri Monkeys 2023. Our first event is called Flying W Ranch. It's in Cherryville, Missouri. That's March 31st through April 2nd. Our second event is going to be at Pikes in Bowling Green, Missouri, April 27th through the 30th. The third event is going to be at Flying W back in Cherryville, Missouri again. That's June 23rd through the 25th. Our fourth event is going to be at Lincoln County Fair there in Troy, Missouri, Friday night. That's July 14th. Our fifth event will be back at Pikes, July 20th through the 23rd. And our final event, the sixth event, will be at Pikes, September 7th through the 10th. And all the Pikes events will have all of our 4 main events with the knockout races, turn and burns, and the mega trucks. The Flying W events are going to have all 4 of our main events, as far as the hill climb, side-by-side hill climb race, side-by-side stage 1, stage 2, the ATV battle course. On Sunday, we're going to be doing some short course racing. It'll be like an hour to 2 hours long on Sunday.
Nice.
So a little bit of something for everyone.
So B&B, what kind of food are you gonna have there?
We've got some great food vendors coming.
Is it the barbecue again?
Hillbilly Shack.
Oh,
We've
yeah,
got the
love
barbecue coming again. Taste of Philly's going to be there.
What's Taste of Philly?
They
that?
do some like gourmet tacos.
Any
Great
breakfast?
Philly cheesesteak. Yeah.
Because
Hillbilly Shack
Arkansas
will be
has
doing that.
breakfast.
All Puckered Up is a new vendor that we have that's coming. They have all kinds of good stuff. They're going to do some breakfast stuff also, but like orange drinks, lemonade drinks, like different types of hot dogs, brats, and stuff like that.
Oh, I like brats. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm more about food too. Because
Yeah.
whenever you're
You
hungry
eat.
and then you go, yeah,
Agreed.
you know. But okay, so anything else you want to cover? You know, we talked about a lot. You were there. You were like one of my first guests, other than Ryan over here.
Well,
But
thanks for
we're good.
having me. No, I mean, you've got a huge following, and
Yeah,
I know
yeah,
that
yeah.
There's a lot of people that are going to come to our page.
A lot of
and
people
they're
want
going
to
to
know
come to
more
our
about the side-by-side world.
Agreed.
Yeah, and I'm going to get Trey on here one of these times so him and I can do one-on-one and talk about my builds and, you know, how much I annoyed him and go from there.
You're kind of like Bill Gates' house when it comes to your machines.
Yeah.
It never stops. You just kind of keep adding and
No,
building.
because
and
when they
tweaking.
gave me my KRX, they took it back that same weekend to put 13 rock lights on it because I wanted it to be bright and sparkly and.
And with that, you know, you got to have more battery juice and things like that.
Oh yeah, he just fixed my battery. In
Yeah,
it.
so you know those are the issues come with. But yeah, no, if anyone needs to get a hold of me, I'm easy to get a hold of on the Missouri Motor Facebook page or the YouTube page or TikTok. If you need to get a hold of Gabby, to get a hold of me if you have any questions.
Yeah, he
Let me
replies
know.
fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
you do in a
My
timely
wife and I,
manner. Yeah.
I only work 3 days a week, so it opens
Oh, hey,
up.
that's not much.
It's not. You know, I work Monday,
Look at
Wednesday, and
him,
Friday.
he's
Hey, but the 3 days I work really hard.
Yeah.
But the other 4, I'm actually busier doing all the racing, sponsor stuff. And
Yeah, you're always posting.
Yeah, I'm looking
I never know
forward
if
to
it's you
season
or
4.
her though.
It's generally me.
Yeah.
Well, when I was out of the country, Cheryl.
Oh, I know you were posting.
I could tell
Did
you
you
when
get
I was on
tired
this
of it?
TV show.
Did you get tired of it?
So I told
yeah,
Cheryl,
it's not my thing.
I was like, you're gonna have to post while I was there. And my wife, she is not big in social media.
Yeah, you got to be
But
in social
some
media.
people
to
said
like
it was better.
Yeah,
Really?
I didn't
But
see
I
any
did
of
a
those
better
comments.
job.
Yeah.
I just thought it was the same.
Okay.
Dang.
No, I'm lucky to have her doing that. And
If I
yeah,
would let Ryan do that for a week, if I was gone, Ryan would be like, here, there you go, like post ugly
people don't
pictures.
realize how much work it is.
Oh, social media,
It's-
trust me, I've already ranted about it.
My
It
day-to-day job is
so
like a
much
vacation
work.
compared to the 4 days that I'm off that I.
People think it's easy.
Oh.
It's not easy.
Yeah, you know, you
You
flip
don't
your
post
computer
one
on.
day and you feel guilty. You're like, dang, I could have posted and had all these people see it, you know?
No, 100% agree.
But yeah, no, I think we covered pretty much everything. I can't believe it's up to what we're doing, 100,000. Is that what it is for first?
Actually, it's gonna be a little over
It's gonna be a little
$100,000
over? Dang.
for the entire series.
That's awesome.
As far as like Mid America, in Oklahoma, yeah, that's really like the biggest series I've seen. I know the guys in Arkansas, Stan and Chris, they're having their series down there. That's $100,000 series too. So it's nice that we've got such good friends that we kind of have two $100,000 series between Missouri
Yeah.
and Arkansas. And
Now, have they ever done like 100,000
No,
before
they
down there?
haven't.
So did they ask you for like some advice on it or like how
Well,
to run it? And
yeah,
stuff?
and they work. They help us at our events and do some things. So,
Yeah,
I love working with them. Stan and Chris, they do a great job. And yeah,
Especially like how far are they away from us?
they're 5.5 hours from us. And we're from St. Louis, so Probably about 8 for you, 7.5 to 8. Yeah, it's a ways down there.
So when they do come to our events, they have a little bit of a drive.
They definitely have a bit of a drive.
But like, we try to return the favor and go to their events too.
Agreed.
I mean, yeah.
Well, no, hey, don't feel too sorry for them.
And they have really good food there
and
too.
I pay them to come help us too.
Oh, okay,
so,
perfect. Yeah, you get paid to come.
Right, and compete. And we're one of the few organizations that I know in promotions. We actually let the people that work for us compete at the same time.
Yeah.
Where most people just won't allow that to happen. So, I want to get bigger, but at the same time, I don't want to lose kind of the fun that we get to have. We can bend the rules from time to time. It's all not all about 100% has to be done this way.
Yeah.
If there's something that's happened or somebody needs help, or we want to try to make sure everybody has the same opportunity to race.
Yeah, of course. Okay, well, we're gonna wrap it up, y'all. I will catch you next Thursday. I'm just really glad you joined in. You drove a couple hours to come up on the podcast.
Cool. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I appreciate it. We went to lunch earlier. It was really good. But anyways, I will see y'all next Thursday. All right. Okay, Ryan, here you go.
Bye.